Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Ball Not Court Podcast, host Cortez Paul.
Along with my co-host Paul Mack.
I want to thank you folks for tuning in today and listening to the show. Basically, we cover basketball, football, NCAA, or anything that's related to current events with a humorous twist to it at least. You can follow the podcast at BIOC Podcast at X or Twitter. We're also on Instagram at the same name, BIOC Podcast. You go to our YouTube channel, that's also BIOC Podcast. Our Facebook page is Balls Not Court Podcast. So if you could please just give us a like, shout, comment on any of those, and definitely subscribe to our YouTube channel. And we thank you for listening and enjoy the show. Balls Not Court Podcast. Thank you very much. Welcome to the Balls Not Court Podcast. Cortez Paul is here. My brother CeeJay Hill is joining us tonight.
Yes, sir.
He is stepping in for Mr. Paul Mack. Mr. Paul Mack is on vacation. Had a birthday that he's celebrating. Happy birthday to you, Mr. Mack. Enjoy Austin. Too bad you can't go to the Tito's factory for me because they don't do tours. But shoot your boy a picture and let me know what it look like, man.
Man.
Enjoy your birthday, brother. But right now, we're going to call this the UMP Podcast. You know,
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Natural. We call him CeeJay. We're not really that old, but I guess compared
but
to...
we've been grandfathered in as the Twitter unks. So
yeah, man. So it's all good, man. All we missing is Yachty. But
yeah. Yes, sir. Uncle Yachty.
But you know, I hit my brother up and say, hey man, what you up to, man? Let's do a podcast. And you come in and step right on in. And just what he said, put me in, coach, right? You said put me in, coach?
We got to make it happen. The people need to see it.
Absolutely. So you already know what we're going to talk about. We're going to make like this the podcast, talk about basketball. It's going to be like a little barbershop feel. So, we're going to feel the love. But, I got to ask my mans because we just got done hanging out and barbecuing a few weeks ago.
Yes, sir.
My brother, talk to the people, man. What are you putting on the grill? It is summertime. It is hot out here.
You put me on to them. You put me on to them Uncle John Pride sausage.
Uncle John Pride sausage.
Yeah. We're gonna go ahead and throw them on the grill, man. You know what I'm saying? As a little appetizer where everything else is grilling out. But yeah, we can roll with that.
Hey, listen, and I get in an argument with some people all the time. One I used to be on this show. My big brother Kevin, you got to cook the sausage whole. No, I don't want the sausage juice squirting out here, me, bro.
No, we're gonna chop them. Yeah.
Get a nice little sear to them, get that little crunch, and I ain't got to worry about juice hitting me on the face. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you just sit there and toss them bad boys around. But I already knew he's gonna say to Uncle John's Pride, but them things be hitting.
Yeah,
my mama.
She did you right. She did you right.
That's a woman that know how to cook, man. And
I got a pack in the refrigerator for this weekend. It's going down. Yes, sir.
My dog.
Sir. Yes, sir.
CeeJay, good to have you on the show, man. I know you was on here when we did our Magic preview, so we'll get right into it, man. The NBA released their All NBA team selection. So the first team ended up being Giannis, Luka, SGA, Jokic, and Jason Tatum. About what we expected for the first team to be.
It's average. Yeah.
Second team is Brunson, AD, KD, Kevin Durant, Anthony Edwards, and Kawhi Leonard. Kind of worried about that Kawhi pick there. But
yeah.
Third team, Devin Booker, Steph Curry, Tyrese Haliburton, LeBron James, DeMontis Sabonis. And I see my boy CeeJay rocking the jersey right now.
Yeah, my man got robbed. He got robbed. We're gonna speak on it. Yeah.
So first of all, what's your overall thoughts on this selection of the teams? Tell me what you think about the first, second, and third team and whatnot. Who you got? What you think?
I mean, with those 13, 14, Kawhi's suspect, but I mean, if he played more than 50 games, he automatically gonna get on there just for his reputation alone. So,
yep.
I think every year, man, it's just gonna be them same 15 from probably the next 2-3 years. You can just shuffle. I mean, somebody's gonna outplay somebody. You know, obviously because of injuries and just teams, team expectations and stuff like that, or how teams perform throughout the season. But for the most part, man, those 15 guys are going to be the same guys rotating in and out. You just going to have to figure out, like I said, like performance and stuff like that. If they're who's scoring the most, who's getting the most rebounds, blah, blah, blah. But for the most part, man, it's just going to be the same 15, in my opinion.
Yeah. I was kind of skeptical of the Kawhi pick. I know he.
Yeah. But he played like 68 games this year?
Yeah, so I believe that the tag should be 62, 64, somewhere around that range. You got to play that many games, so you got rewarded.
Yeah, he got to play 65, so he was 3 over. So
yeah,
for him, that's 82 for him because he don't never play more than 50 anyway. So
barely made it. Yep. But now, as far as I would say this, the Tyrese Halliburton selection has to do with he's got a lot of exposure.
Yeah,
in the play-in tournament. And now,
All-Star Weekend.
All-Star Weekend, yep.
Yeah,
it was
for sure.
It was hosted in
Yeah.
Indiana.
Yeah.
And then now, the way the cards are lined up, at the end of the day, Indy's got to play who's in front of him. So he's going to get that more exposure.
He had a cakewalk.
Yeah, he's got a cakewalk. Giannis didn't play at all in the first round.
Dame missed the last 2-3 games of that series?
2 games, yep. So it's just – and then the Knicks – because
Tibbs ran them in the ground. Yeah.
He just run these guys and play. It's going to be Chicago Bulls all over again. You need to learn how to use your depth. Alex Burks is really talented. You put him in the game finally. It just doesn't make sense. But I'm not going to go down this tangent. Nonetheless, though, that's why he's got a lot of exposure.
Mm-hmm.
To our guy, Paulo, he only had 1 national televised game.
Yeah. And I think we played OKC.
Yep. We got spanked there.
Yeah, that was bad.
There was a little motivation there because,
Yeah.
Shaq, he was telling us to go home during Shaq Jarrett's retirement night, which we
went home early that night for sure.
Well, we're retiring Shaq's jersey, so I think it was probably meant to be that we lost that game.
Yeah, that bad juju. Talk about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
but
it was meant to be.
Paul's not getting this exposure, man. And then we saw the kind of kid that tweeted that Caitlin Carter's got more games than Paul Banchero. I'm not going to set the gripe. And Paulo responded like, hey, rightfully so. His time will come.
Yeah, for sure.
Just highly speaks of the man character.
Catching strays.
Yeah, he catches strays and handle them like a G, man. So talk to me about if Paulo should have made the team, and I'm assuming we all agree that he at least should have been third team.
Yeah, third team for sure. Who's on the third team again?
So Devin Booker, Stephen Curry, Tyrese Halliburton, LeBron James, and Domantas Sabonis.
Oh, get Sabonis out of there. Team didn't even make the playoffs, if I'm not mistaken. Or did they do the play-in?
They did the play-in. And
they didn't make the playoffs. So
yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah. So what I'm hearing is if the Magic take a step back, Paulo should be in all NBA.
Right. Yeah. So it makes sense. Yeah. The math ain't math, but yeah.
For what he has done, don't get me wrong, Sabonis has had a fantastic year and work with consideration, but it was. I guess Paulo time will come. That's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah.
Sure. I'm not too mad at it. He did get some votes at least. He got 2 second place votes and 4 third place votes. So with all the kind of not much he's not much in the limelight as these other players.
Right.
For them to kind of say you gotta be some ball watchers for sure if you go to Paulo.
Yeah.
And understand where he's come from there like that. But it's kind of crazy. Like Victor Wembanyama had more third place votes than Paulo.
That rubs me wrong, but I get it.
Well,
and it kind of happened at the right time. Yeah, and it happened at the right time because he just got this shoe deal with Nike. Well, his signature line is coming out. He got the Mars-looking space creature in the cornfield as his logo. So it happened at the right time.
Yeah. Some notable snubs is Jaylen Brown. He had 58 third-place votes. Paul George. Tyrese Maxey could be in consideration.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. He pretty much carried Philly half the year.
Yeah. Zion Williamson. I don't know. He was more healthy.
Yeah, that was about it.
De'Aaron Fox, Bam Adebayo, and DeMar DeRozan are the ones that was left on this list that have votes. So, but nonetheless, I do agree with the initial first five. Giannis, too bad he got hurt. Too bad he just got hurt, man. Luka is really showing why.
He's gonna stay on there for the next 10 years.
Yeah. That spot's just gonna be reserved there. SGA. Even though there's some parts about his game that bug me, he is carried.
Yeah, he carried those. Yeah, he carried OKC.
Yeah, to the number one seed. So he was.
He rode that foul line for 82 games.
Boy, hey, 2020 James Harden, right?
Yeah, man.
Jeez. Jokic, MVP, rightly that goes said.
You can't deny that.
Jason Tatum has been fantastic, but I'm kind of worried. I'm kind of worried about his. He had a good game in game one, but his playoff performance has kind of been. I don't know if he's just bored or it's just underperforming.
I mean, when you got to play Miami in the first round, cruise control. Second round, you're really not playing nobody.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you play Cleveland. They give you one game.
Yeah, and they was hurt too. So
yeah, and even if they're not hurt, they're gonna lay down. They're not gonna, they really don't put up too much of a fight. Just depend on, if you punch Cleveland in the mouth at the beginning of the series, they're gonna fold anyway. So
no doubt. Well, speaking of the transition, let's transition over to that. Boston ended up leading the series. They won the game in overtime, 133 to 126. They came back on two crucial turnovers by the Indiana Pacers, and a Jaylen Brown miracle three. Your thoughts about? I'm gonna ask you: did the Pacers just blow it, or did the Celtics came back and win that game?
I want to say they blew it because it went off Hallie's foot.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, if I'm not mistaken, they were down 12 to start the game. So, in my opinion, I think Boston just kind of was sleepwalking, to be honest. I don't know. This is one of those series where I think if Tatum don't just really crank it up to superstar mode, like top 10 player in the league, I think it's gonna go 7.
Some questions, yeah.
Yeah, it has that feel to it. It's like, let him hang around a little bit too much, and then if it doesn't go off his foot, they don't make those rookie or not rookie, but if they don't make those young team mistakes in the final minutes, then they walk away with the dub.
Do you feel like that maybe Kristaps Porzingis is more integral to their game or their team game plan more than we letting on?
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Because Miles Turner went off on him.
Yeah.
And it's not and it's a common theme. Evan Turner went off on him in the second round.
Yeah.
In the first round. Bam Adebayo.
Yeah.
He took off. So it's all about their big man depth.
And we got at them when we played them.
Yeah. So
that final spot is crucial. For sure.
Yeah. Well, you got Al Horford and Luke Kornet, who's playing the 5. So you feel like some of these teams should really game plan a little bit more.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it. My bad. I'm looking at this CeeJay that I'm putting Al Horford in a lot of pick and roll situations.
Yeah, you got to move them feet. Yeah.
You gotta expose them.
Yeah, you gotta
expose them.
You gotta attack them.
So
and that's one of those things when they're a young team, so they're probably Indy's a young team, so they'll make adjustments. Yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, they're really not a pick and roll heavy team like that to really expose that. I mean, pick and pops with a pick and pop is totally different than pick and roll with putting pressure on the rim. But That's Miles Turner's game, though. Perimeter, not really putting too much pressure in the paint, but I think they'll make adjustments as they see, this is who we really got to attack as the series goes on.
Yeah. I guess I'm looking at it from a standpoint that you got to do a 1-5 and put Hallie or, hell, even CeeJay McConnell and just drive and open up the kick game, because Indiana game is all about pace because they're Pacers. But pace.
Pace and space, man. Pace and space.
But, yeah, they're up and down team. They need to get this team going. And they really can take advantage of this. And while they are down really size now, in my opinion, I would try to, and the pick and pop too, but Miles Turner can eat in the paint too, because I'm trying to think, if you can go ahead and face front him, and I'm talking about, Al Horford, get that little jab step, triple threat jab step. Why not take advantage of that?
Yeah, you gotta make them work. Yep. That's basically what we do when he switches on to Paulo. Paulo attacks him, get to the foul line. Because after him, there's really no other. That's all they got. Cornette, he's serviceable, but at the end of the day, you really don't have anything on the bench.
Yeah. Thinking, what do you think about this whole this whole whiteboard matchup between TJ McConnell and Peyton Pritchard?
I'm going with Pritchard, baby. Give me Pritchard. Give me Pritchard. Give me Pritchard. Give me Pritchard. Give me Pritchard.
Hey.
I'm actually in a group chat on Twitter. I think it was a couple seasons ago. I was like, yo, I would trade Cole Anthony for Peyton Pritchard. This might have been 2 seasons ago. Was it? Yeah, about 2 seasons ago I said it. And everybody was like, no, you're crazy. But Pritchard could go, man. You know what I'm saying? He perfect. Scrappy, shoots a 3. But TJ McConnell, he's just a dog. He just get it out the mud. I have no skill. I shouldn't even be in the NBA at all. But I'm just going to get at you for 48 minutes. Like, it's crazy.
My dog, I feel like he's like some kind of like he should be in the school board teaching.
Yes.
But yeah, he's a hooper like that. So
yes.
I actually love that everybody talk about this on NBA Twitter between these two that are like going at it, because it feel like you're in a PE class, you just got two white boys that are like, they're really good, but they run their mouth too. Wanting to ignore you, that they'll bust you. And I feel like that's what we're getting with Peyton Pritchard and we getting that with TJ McConnell. So what are your thoughts about Pascal Siakam and what he's been doing this postseason so far?
I think he earned his money finally. I mean, outside of I think it was like 2019 when they won the championship. So up until he signed his max deal, and then the championship year, I think he kind of just, I don't know. Everybody
just settled.
Yeah. Everybody kind of realized what he is, but I think he's perfect for what the Pacers need. That veteran, been there, done that, can slow everything down, keep everybody under control. I think that's the next step for us. So if we're looking at somebody like, if we get a vet like that, that's been there, done that, I mean, we can take the next step too. So, but I'm happy for them, man. They needed a 4. They needed it all year. It was obvious because every time we played them, Paulo demolished them. So it was like, okay, let's go out and address what we need to address. So that was a good move.
Yeah. I like to pick up. He give him that dual threat. I don't know if he just ran out of motivation there. He got his money, kind of settled in with Toronto. Now he's just waiting for his escape. I mean, he really never vocally came out and say that, but
yeah, you could tell he was just like, I'm good.
Yeah, like he liked Toronto. He was in a good area. He, he enjoyed the vibes, and he got paid pretty well to play basketball.
Yeah, Kawhi rolled out on him. He was like, all right, I'm good.
Yeah. So then you lost Fred VanVleet, and you lost all these other pieces.
He was just like, yeah, all right, oh, okay.
Yeah. OG Anunoby got traded to the Knicks, so it was just pretty much, well, now it's Pascal's turn.
Right, yeah. Get me out of here.
Yeah. And I feel like that it was a good move so far. And I know there's been a lot of kind of chatter about, him and his just his motivation. But he seems very motivated, and they are taking advantage of the situation. Listen, at the end of the day, I'm sure Pacers fans not complaining about these other team transgressions.
Right, yeah, we good.
It is what it is, man. Like, you just sometimes look at the draw. You go to these games, 82 games, injuries do happen. It's unfortunate.
Yes,
it
sir.
sucks, and it's what you run into.
Mavs is good right now.
Oh, absolutely. So,
Immaculate.
and they had a chance to steal game one. Just a couple things didn't go their way, but for Tyrese Halliburton and that young core that they have there, this is a good learning experience for them.
Yep. They'll be there. They'll be back next year. Even if they don't, win it this year, they'll be back next year.
Thoughts about what will a NBA title do for Jason Tatum's and Jaylen Brown legacy? Because this is their fourth time getting to the Eastern Conference Finals.
It's gonna keep them. It'll keep them together.
In a row.
Yeah, it'll keep them together. If they don't win it this year, Brown's out of there. In my opinion, you got to split that up. Because how many times you gonna bang your head against the wall? You know what I mean? Try to get it work. Especially with this new CBA rules with the salary cap, like you can't have two guys like that. I mean, you can move him for pieces, and like you need a 5, so you can move Jaylen Brown to get a package that has a serviceable 5 in it, and still be good because Jason Tatum's a superstar. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I think this is the make or break year, especially with the East being so weak. Like previous years, all right, cool. LeBron, I think it was LeBron in the East when they started their run. But I mean, Kawhi was around. Trying to think who else was good. Miami was really good because they probably just got Jimmy. But yeah, man, it's time to put up a shut up. Like, what we doing?
You got a few of these teams that's getting a little bit older. I know Giannis and Dame is already up in age, and what they're going to do with the moves in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Philly, you got Embiid who
on one leg.
Stay healthy. Knicks are talented, and they got some money they can play around with. But Tom Thibodeau he's got to tinker his coaching adjustments just a tad.
I saw today OG said he's willing to test free agency, so it's not a 100% chance he comes back to the Knicks. So to me, he must have felt like, yo, this dude just ran me into the ground. I can't even walk. Let me see what's out there. Because once he got traded there, it was like, oh, yeah, he's resigning. Like, he's not even going to test free agency. So,
yeah, that's kind of big news, right? See, you're right, because for that to come out, and you just saw the success that the Knicks just had. It's like,
yeah, why not? Why wouldn't he, like, I'm coming back regardless. He still will ride away. But I think the injuries and Tibbs really pushing him hard probably was. Let me see what else out there.
It brings you back to that poll they had on NBA.com. Like, what coach would you not want to play for?
Oh, yeah.
Tibbs was leading that category.
Tibbs, Doc Rivers should be number 2. Like, they should be 1A and 1B. Like, them two guys, boy.
Yeah. You got all that talent, man. And either you run them to the ground or you're underachieving. And
yeah, for sure.
That's why I say this is why the position that we're looking at, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, this is their chance to come out the East and 100%. try to make a run here and get a title. Not these runs don't last forever, man. Like, you got some teams that's up and coming, so you might want to take advantage of that. I know Porzingis is rumored to come back. They said at least game 4, game 5.
Right.
So they need him, but I understand with the injury.
I would try to save him to the finals if I could.
If you can, yeah. But if you don't get a Boston team that seem like they're just going through the motions and then they think they can turn it on in the fourth quarter, this is the result you're going to get. You're going to get in overtime games, and Tyrese Halliburton get hot at any moment. So, like,
it's over.
You're just risking for, like, blown games here. And that's what Celtics has done the past few rounds, actually. They just sit there and play with their food and sit here and just sleepwalk sometimes. It's just frustrating. Listen, I'm okay with Boston. Yeah. I say that. I said this numerous times. Yeah. I'm just waiting for their moment to choke.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
I'm just waiting for their moment.
It's inevitable. Yeah. 100%.
They are the favorites. They are rightfully so the favorites. They have the most talent in the NBA left.
Yep.
And they have the star power. They have the depth. They have the bench. And their big man, we just talked about, is questionable. Their rebound game is kind of questionable. You got Al Horford and Luke Kennett, we just mentioned. Besides that, Derek White is having a fantastic year. We didn't even say anything about Derek White. He's having a fantastic year.
Yeah. Or Holiday.
Yeah. But you sit here and you watch. Right. But CeeJay, you sit here and watch these games and be like, what are they doing? Why are they sleepwalking? This game, they was up big and they just whatever. And there was a moment like Jason Tatum was throwing up bad shot to bad shot.
Oh, he does that. Yeah, he does that. Yeah, he does that.
And I'm just like, I mean, you can speak on because you know the Duke guy. You can speak on it. You watch him.
That's been his MO forever.
But it's just frustrating watching this team because just as an outside fan, not just talking about just an outside basketball fan watching this team, it's like, yo, I can only imagine what Celtics fans feel like because this should be easy for them. They should have been sweeping some of these rounds. They should have been relaxing. Listen, I live in Boston. They could have been down on Bolton Street, going to the government market, pick up some cheese and chill in Boston, bro. Hang out, go to the Cheers bar, relax, and wait till the next one get here. But you're in a dogfight with some of these teams when you shouldn't be in a dogfight.
And I think with the Pacers, their style of play is eerily similar to Boston. I mean, both of them Boston wants to shoot 40-plus threes a game. So you're playing right into how the Pacers want to play, where they get the ball out the net, off make or miss, we're running. And that's exactly what you're running into right now. Style, it was a boxing term, style punches make styles or whatever.
Yeah, so their styles align, their style matches.
And like for us, when we played the Cavs in the first round, that was a terrible matchup. Like their backcourt, we didn't have a good backcourt, so obviously the styles were no good for us. But Boston and the Pacers are perfect. Both teams want to play fast, so here we go.
And CeeJay, you mentioned something too. You're right, because as soon as you get these rebounds and they're missed because you're taking these threes, the ball just take all these different bounces, and then you get a jet start to run down there. You got Tyrese Halliburton, who's one quickest guard in the game, pick up the ball and go 94.
And you don't have a big to really rebound. So
nope. What do we got? You got slow Al Horford and slow Luke Cornett.
Man,
Porzingis is he's somewhat athletic, right?
Yeah, for sure. You can body up Miles Turner. Neither one of them really want to play physical, but still 7'3", or Miles Turner is 7 foot, 7'1", and then the tallest, Al Horford is 6'9", 6'10".
Yeah,
like come on, man.
All right, so before we get up this, I picked a parlay, and I want to see if you agree with it. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna ask you the question. I'm gonna see that we're in line here. So
right.
All right. So over under for tonight's game. Over under 225.5 points. What you going?
I'm gonna go over.
I went under. I went under. I just worried.
That's 110, 115 a piece. Yeah, you go under.
The reason I went under.
The Pacers are gonna have a stinker.
I feel like an overtime game probably draw a little bit of juice out of them a little bit.
Yeah. And everybody, I think last time, like the starting five, everybody scored like 15 plus or something like that. Everybody was in double figures. I think this is gonna be that one game where it's like Halliburton and Siakam the only ones to score like plus 15. So it's gonna be a stinker. So we go under. I go under with that.
Speaking next one, over 16.5 points or below for Miles Turner.
Ooh, under. I think this is his game to be blah.
Okay.
Because he always has one. He has one game in series where it's just like, all right.
Yeah. And I get where you're coming from. He does have those games, and the matchup favors him.
Yeah, so when you always think that he should take the next step, it's kind of just is like
he just feels the law. So I took the risk. I took the risk and go over. I think he's gonna get it, but I see where you're coming from because it's worried about is it consistent with Miles Turner.
He's always had that consistency.
Yeah. Under 6.5 rebounds or over 6.5 rebounds for Jaylen Brown.
He's another one. The consistency. One game he gets you 7 rebounds. Next game he probably get 2. They lost. He did at home. He got a lot to prove. I'll go over.
Over? Okay.
Yeah, I'll go over. Just because they lost, and he probably will come out with like when he played us, and he was, you know, a superhero. We couldn't stop him. He had like 50.
All right, CeeJay, you're going different than me. I should have put the parlay on here and said you bet see if I hit on the opposite. All right, let's say you get this last one here. Over under 4.5 assists for TJ McConnell.
Ooh, 4.5.
4.5 assists for TJ McConnell. Does he get the over or does he get the under?
Oh man, let me see who is second unit. I'm gonna go over.
My man, I like what I have liked what Obi
TJ been steady. Yeah, he got Obi Toppin throw the lobs too. He's been steady. Yeah, he's been steady.
Nembhard's been playing well too.
Yeah,
he can throw the ball too. So like, it just make you wonder. I think he get the over. He's as we were saying, TJ is a dog. So talk to me, man. What do you think for the rest of this series, man? I think the Boston win this series. I think they do it in 5 games.
I think it's going 7.
You going 7?
Yeah, we're gonna roll 7.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna roll 7.
And listen, I won't be mad at your prediction because we as we like to call the Boston Celtics, they're Jekyll and Hyde, man.
Yeah, we're gonna roll 7.
They're
just because they don't. I don't think they can knock them out. I don't think they have the. I don't think they have the killer instinct just to get it over with.
They don't.
What I mean? Like, I don't think they. And then if game 1, you kind of gave, the Pacers some hope because they were down 12 to start the game and then took it to overtime. So they got a little bit of fight in them.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll go 7.
All right, got you.
I think it'll go 7.
All right, so let's move on from the Eastern Conference. Let's talk about the West. Did you watch that game last night?
Yeah.
How great was that game?
Many in trouble. Minnesota in trouble, buddy.
Do you just think Minnesota? And I felt like who I want to describe this situation because I feel like it's similar to there are certain teams that are built to be certain teams, but they don't take into account of the other teams.
Everybody else. Yeah. Exactly. We don't care about nobody else. We're trying to beat. Many is built to beat Denver, but they just totally forget about everybody else.
Yeah, and their reluctance to not go smaller against them.
You can't. If you go smaller, you put in the defensive player of the year on the bench.
Yeah, it's one of those that's a big risk, but I still believe this will be a long series though. I don't think this is a wrap. I think it'll be a good series.
It's over in 5.
You got over in 5? Yeah, see, I got to go in the distance.
2. They got 2 more back in. It'll be over in 5.
All right, I think it's gonna go the distance. I think it's gonna go 6 or 7 games. So talk to me about how Anthony Edwards called that he wanted to guard Kyrie Irving.
That's the problem right there.
And Kyrie went off.
Yeah, and he's gonna continue to go off. That's the problem. You can't let that man sleepwalk. Don't wake him up. Let him be.
And then
now he's legit gonna terrorize you the entire series.
Can I say how hurt I am that the Mavs didn't draft Derek Lively II?
Yeah, I'm about to say that too. Me and Malik, I talked Malik into Derek Lively. Me being a Duke guy.
Yeah.
To me, I've been saying it. Derek Lively is Tyson Chandler Jr. And so and Tyson Chandler is the big man coach on Dallas.
Yep. Man, I talked to Mike, the Napier Foundation. He was at me for a while. Like, dude, we got draft Lively. We got draft Lively. He wanted Derek Lively so bad, and it just crushed his soul to see what he's doing. I know he's doing some stuff, personal stuff. His mom passed away due to cancer, so lie on his head. It's not fun losing a parent. I think we both been there, CeeJay.
Yes,
so condolences to him. But for him handling like a pro, man, like, and you son watching Duke, man, just talk about this kid, his personality and his gameplay and what you saw that would translate well from Duke to what he's doing now.
Defense, pick and roll, lob threat. Also, but there's another aspect to his game that we're not even seeing. He can actually shoot the three. But, obviously they're like, yo, we just want you to do this. But he actually can shoot the three. I think at Duke he shot it like 32, 33%, almost 34%. So he can shoot the ball. But, obviously different roles once you get to the league. But, yeah, that's
the thing. And the thing is, CeeJay, I think what they're doing is simplifying for him because he's a young player, just trying to
we're going to make it simple. Yeah.
So smart on Tyson Chandler, smart on Jason Kidd to just simplify the game and let his game grow. But for him to be on the stage, it is you got to imagine it pay dividends, right?
Yeah. And you really can't play him off the floor because he can play drop coverage or he can blitz on pick and rolls. He can switch. I think he switched yesterday off on Ant for 2 or 3 possessions and did his thing. So
yeah,
that's going to be the biggest factor in this series, because once you get Lively off the court, then you got to worry about Gafford. Gafford's the same player, but he's just not as mobile. But same player, same issues, going to cause the same trouble for many.
Speak on the additions of Daniel Gafford and PJ Washington.
How do they get them? They didn't have any. They didn't have no picks. They didn't have any money. Like, how does the rich get richer? Like, come on, man. And we're sitting the Magic. We obvious stuff. Like, come on, man. I just want to know.
Daniel Gafford would have been perfect for us. Just like that. But nah, I hear you. It's one of those.
They got him for a second-round pick, if
I'm
not mistaken. They got Gafford for like a player and a second-round pick. Nothing too crazy, but
yeah, man, it's just one of those teams that are just trying to shred salary a little bit, and
you caught us fire sale, and here we are.
So you don't catch a few teams like that in the offseason that's trying to reload and everything. Hawks being one of that team. It seems like a lot of teams in our division is going to be doing a lot of retooling, but
kudos to CBA. CBA gonna make a lot of teams think about some things.
Yeah, but kudos for them picking it up. I think Daniel Gafford has been a fantastic addition. He's one of the best rebounders in the game. So that helped with that. What you need to do is just get some pieces around Luka and Kyrie, and this is what you have. And now we're talking about these 3 other players. At one point in time, we was talking about Tim Hardaway Jr., but I just haven't seen much from him recently.
Yeah, he'll catch fire. He I think it was last series or the first round we caught fire. Mm-hmm. But he's a vet. He gonna do what he do off the bench,
Yeah.
But it takes pressure off guys like that. You know what I mean? So who knows? He might be the deciding factor in the series.
Oh yeah. Speak on the Minnesota Timberwolves, man. They did do it a different way. They did do it like an old conventional way where they got 2 bigs. They got a star guard and a veteran point guard and a wing defender. And that seemed like that's some old school ball that they're going with. And for the most part, it has been successful. They did well against the Suns, who had an Asian big 3 or at what many consider a big 3, but just a flawed team that they beat. Nuggets, they just match up well with the Nuggets. They really do. As we talked about, it's just not too long. They just match up well. Jokic just a lot of size, give them a lot of problems, stuff like that. And the Nuggets' depth is not what it was compared to last year. They lost Bruce Brown, they lost Jeff Green. So you're losing all these veteran integral pieces.
Yeah, and it'll be the same thing this year. They'll lose KCP and they'll lose what's the other guy? KCP and oh my God, I'm blanking. Reggie Jackson. Reggie Jackson. Yeah. They'll want to get paid somewhere.
Yeah, and rightfully so. I don't blame them. I'm like, go get paid. You already got some rings, or you got a ring with them. Yep. I believe Reggie don't have a ring. It's KCP got a ring with him. But no, go get paid. But at the end of the day, you got to retool around your stars. And so for the most part, Minnesota, has done this a conventional way, and they're in the position that they are right now. Had a chance to really win this game, but Luka Magic just took over. So speak before we dive into Luka, talk to me about Anthony Edwards' progression, where he's at right now. Probably going to be one of the future faces of the league coming up. Talk to me about Ant-Man and what he brings to the game.
Up until this point, I really never watched him for some reason. With us being diehard Magic fans, like we watch our game, and when it's over at 9:30, we're just like, all right, cool. Kind of watched him a little bit in the Olympics, but I was mainly because I wanted to watch Paulo, so it was really doing nothing. But I think he got it. I think he got the juice to take over the league. I just want him to do it quietly. Like, there's no need to ruffle feathers. There's no need to go poking the bear. Like just handle your business. You don't like that? I like it, but at the same time, it's like, yo, you got to know what you got behind you. Like, you don't got no dogs behind you, man. You got a cat, and you got
Rudy Gobert.
Like, come on, bro. They soft. Like, just don't poke the bear.
Man,
this could easily. Can you imagine if he didn't poke the bear and Kyrie just had a normal first half of the playoffs, 7 to 8 points, 9 points? Different game.
I hear where you're coming from, but before he gets moderated in a few years, it's going to be moderated by the media.
Yeah.
I won't candid Anthony Edwards.
Oh yeah. After this season, they gonna talk to him. Yeah, they gonna talk to him after this season.
Bring that ass here.
Listen.
Hey,
and they came. Hey, bring it. And they came. Yeah, for sure.
But CeeJay, we from the South, man. So you already know these South people are just different. So you got someone.
That's why I say I love it. That's why I say I love it. But you gotta be mindful of what you got behind you, man. I mean, you ain't got nobody to guard Kyrie, and you ain't got nobody to guard Luka.
Man, he got so much swag to him, man. I'm just enjoying it for a few more years before he get moderated. But Ant-Man is coming on. I know he didn't have the best of game in game one, and it's really if he just have somewhat of a decent game, they had a chance to win this game at home.
Yeah, he did the same thing in the last series where he had a couple stinkers, but they won, so nobody really paid attention to it. So
yeah, and he's got all the talent in the world. He'll bounce back. He'll figure it out. This is a learned experience for him, just like Tyrese Halliburton. He's put in certain situations that when you get and you start playing these teams and they're at the same spot that you are, they got there for a reason, just like you did. Yes. Competition is different. It's the level of play is raised, and you got not only some of these teams that have star power, but they have depth, and they have pieces that's been there before. So when you look at the Dallas Mavericks, they got Tim Hardaway Jr. I know we talked about him where he's not struggling, but he's struggling a little bit, but you got some pieces there.
Been there. Yeah.
Right. But you got some of these players that have been there. And you look at this and you just know this young Minnesota team has got to figure out, but to lose that one at home, your first one at home is devastating for sure.
And he'll learn, man. I feel like the media kind of knows his personality now, so they kind of like egg him on to act that way. But it's cool. It's good for the league. It shows he got a personality. Like, he's marketable. But you just got to know who your squad is. That's all I'm saying. Like I said, I think this one will be over in 6, 5 or 6. I think this one will be over. Because it just, like you said earlier, this the way they built. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, like I said, with the CBA and the salary cap and stuff like that, some people are going to have to go and they can retool a little bit. They're going to need a point guard because Conley's a free agent. So they're going to shuffle the deck and come back. But having him as your cornerstone, that's perfect.
Yeah. This is the one that got me because
maybe you can swing a deal and send Rudy Gay. Oh, I said Rudy Gay. Maybe you can send Rudy Gobert to Boston for Jaylen Brown. That balances it out a little bit.
Yeah, it's that's
not the best trade.
Think about it.
Yeah, it's not the best trade, but it's one of those things like, okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Let's get some talks going on and see where the initial fill out for that. Nah, understood. My thing, CeeJay, is I thought the reason I kind of leaned toward the Timberwolves, and I was before this first game happened, was just I was like, man, they're gonna kill them on the boards.
Yeah,
Dallas first game had 48 rebounds, and the Mavericks had 48 rebounds, and the Timberwolves had 40. So they did not take advantage of their size.
They can.
And they lost the rebound battle. If you're gonna lose a rebound battle against Dallas, most likely than not, you giving Luka and Kyrie extra possessions.
Yes, and they already play semi-fast, so they're already getting a good amount of possessions on them just because they play fast a little bit. Yeah. And then you give them the rebounds. You go from maybe 3 or 4 possessions because of their play style to now the other 8 possessions because they out-rebound you by 8. So
yeah,
now we're at 11.
Mm-hmm. But now I picked the Timberwolves come out in the West. We'll see if that position holds.
That's a good pick, though.
They got the size. For sure. Yeah, I just their size, the rebound. I thought they would have out-rebound and give them a chance there.
They just ran into a hot team. I feel like Dallas is a hot team.
They are.
Full of dogs. PJ Washington is underrated. He's a dog.
And as we can sit here and talk, like, yeah, the Timberwolves have their guy, superstar, who it is. On the other end, Luka Doncic is the best player in this series.
Hands down.
He's the best player in this series. And then not only that, yeah, you might be the second best player, Anthony Edwards, but they got 3.
They got the third. They got the third best player. And then it stops. And then you can start debating. You could be like, well, is Cat better than Cat would be the 4 automatic. But it's just like,
yeah, but then you go down there, there's a DMP that you can plug in. I know Jay McDaniels had a good game 1.
Yeah, for sure.
But that
is he going to shoot like that for the rest of the series?
Exactly. And then at the end of the day, CeeJay, I'd rather live with Jay McDaniels killing us than Anthony Edwards.
Exactly. We're going to let you shoot all day long.
You can shoot those. That's cool.
Yeah, we're going to give it to you. We're going to give it to you.
Ant-Man can get to the rim and slow down the game and go to the foul line. And Jay McDaniels is going to hit all these couple of threes. Cool. We can get back and set up on defense. That's okay.
That's fine.
So,
but then when it's time, when you come back on defense, then we're going to attack Rudy. So it's either Rudy or Cat. Pick your poison. Like, which one we going to attack?
Which they are putting them in situations where
and it's so weird because you should have saw this coming. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. So
styles make fights.
Yeah.
you just so happen to ran into the team that you weren't built to play. Like, I don't.
Mm-hmm. All right. So initially you said that the Mavs are winning 5, right? That's what you got at?
Yeah, I'm gonna take them in 5.
Okay. I got a T Wilson 7. But like I said, this is a series that can really go either way. If it goes to it, depends whatever go the way. But I can see why you picked Dallas to do that because they are the hottest team and they really are clicking on all cylinders. They beat a tough young OKC team that has learned for their wings and whatnot.
They took them out back. Yeah, that was easy work.
You said they took them out back.
Took them out back. That was easy.
Hey man, all I can say is that there was a lot of chatter about certain players, and I know one. I admit it's the first round. One showed up, and the other one kind of went MIA.
Yeah,
but we've been hearing that if you put him on this team compared to Paulo on that team, you hear a lot of results.
Yeah, no, we're fine. We don't want people riding on our star player's lap at the end of the game.
Nah, OKC is. As I can ask you, was it nice for that fan base to get that humbling?
Yeah, for sure. 100%. Y'all listen, all the barking and running around and y'all not that good. You can't even shoot. You can't shoot. everybody gets on us because we can't shoot as a team, but nobody says anything about OKC.
Did you see that picture where they packing the paint when SGA was driving to the paint and they had 3 players around him?
Paulo C5. What are we saying? Like, we don't want to, as our fan base, we don't want to hear the excuses about fouls and not getting calls and blah blah blah.
Well, I would say this, CJ. They need to do some of these drafted because at the end of the day, all these drafted that were worth $1, they're gonna be worth like 25 cents now. So they need to go do some of these and add some players.
100%.
Some of these teams can take a shot at getting some additional talent with some of these draft picks. Detroit, do what you can to get some of these draft picks from.
They deserve. They fell to 5th. They should have fell to like 10. What are we doing?
You said they should have felt worse.
They should have felt like Houston. Like, what are we doing? Houston, y'all had the third. Y'all got Jalen Green, Jabari Smith Jr., Şengün, but y'all picking 3rd again. I'm gonna stay humble as a Magic fan. I'm gonna stay humble because we were in the trenches for a very long time.
Very long time. So I will say this: I feel like Detroit maybe need to think about doing the Houston route because they're not getting drafted. Like you got to probably sign just some big name that need to get paid some extra money. So
you got to fire the coach. You got to fire the front office. You got to start all over.
You fired Monty?
Yeah, get Monty out of here, man. Monty's not good. He's not good.
I'm gonna give him a few more years.
No,
they pay him a lot of money, man.
Hey, the owners are billionaire. We need him out of here. That's $60 million that we owe him. Hey, listen, put that thing in give him a Rolex with the $60 million and tell him kick rocks.
Them ticket prices, huh?
Yeah, something. Because
CJ, let me get your 2 cents on this. I know you having a daughter and big into WNBA. What's your thoughts about this flight that Caitlin Carter's been getting from just in general?
This is just something to yap about, man. Like every year is going to be somebody that changes the game. It's just her time to change the game. You know what I mean? It's like when LeBron first came out. It was a whole bunch of stuff about what LeBron did and how he changed the game for people that were before or after him or before him, excuse me. And they need her as a pioneer. So now they can take private flights. Like you weren't going to nobody was good enough or nobody had that kind of appeal, star power to actually change the rules. So now that you have somebody to change the rules, why are we complaining? Like, that's great. You don't have to fly Frontier, you know what I mean? Or Spirit Airlines out the gate. It's like, come on. You know what I mean? And they just got a franchise in Toronto.
Yep.
Do you get that if you don't have a Caitlin Clark or Angela Reese? I don't think so.
My opinion, man, I feel like there's a lot of people saying like, well, you could have did this in the past. You did. No, well, we're here now. I caught myself watching the Fever and the Connecticut Suns game?
Yes.
Caught him watching on a Monday night.
That would have never happened last year.
No, literally, I'm up at Buffalo Wild Wings. They got a promo for, hey, I'm hooking you people up, even though I shouldn't be. They got a $20 all-you-can-eat boneless wings deal for Buffalo Wild Wings. So, when you guys on. CJ, no. Yeah. CJ, duly noted.
Yeah.
So we over there watching it, and I'm watching the game, and I'm just like, okay, man, she shot one. I was from the Gamehouse Bridge logo. I was about 30 feet back. Mm-hmm. Man, that shit went in. I was like, what?
She got a flamethrower on her.
Bro, I'm sitting here like, man, and then you hear the crowd. It's like an NBA crowd, bro. I'm like, this woman's doing this, bro. And like, we all should be riding the wave.
And it kind of started. It kind of started with Sabrina during All-Star Weekend when she went up against Steph.
Yeah.
So it was like Sabrina kind of started the movement, and then Caitlin is just now finishing it off.
And all these women basketball players deserve to get paid more. They really do.
Yeah.
They really do.
75,000 a year, but at the same time, I mean, you're only playing like 3 months out of a year, so it's
But now you gotta think of, okay, cool. Now I know about Caitlin Clark. Now I get to learn about more Sabrina Ionescu. I get to learn more about Breanna Stewart. I get to learn more about Asia Wilson. Yes. I get to learn more about Nika Moore. That's a fine girl, by the way. But yeah, and even the Cameron chick, man.
Cameron Brink. Yeah, she's Steph Curry's god sister.
Yeah. So you learn more about these players because one player is pulling a lot of interest in, and it's really good for the league, man. So there's
Cameron Brink was just on Paul George's podcast.
Yeah. I saw a tweet, and this is how you know that the WNBA is pretty much ascending.
Yeah.
Aaliyah Boston, it was like, man, Aaliyah Boston knew Kwame Brown. Man, you don't hear that much slander in WNBA, bro. Which, honestly, Aaliyah Boston is talented. She's
right.
Not Kwame Brown. She's not Kwame Brown. That girl came from South Carolina, man. Don't say you don't play.
She was a champ.
Don't do my girl like that, man. Aaliyah Boston can play now.
Yeah, she followed in the footsteps of Asia Wilson. She was. Yeah, she can hoop.
I need y'all to stop playing, man. No, that girl can hoop, man. I saw that show man, that's just mad disrespectful, dog. Call my girl.
I mean, they got some hoopers, man. My all-time favorite is Sue Bird.
I love her. She can hoop.
She can definitely hoop. Diana Taurasi. Sue Bird and Diana Taurasi, those were my all-time favorites. Dawn Staley is my all-time favorite of all time. When they first started the WNBA, Dawn was hooping. So
Becky Hammond?
Becky Hammond? Yeah. So Dawn and Becky have turned into the aunties.
Cheryl Swoops, come on. Swoops, Lisa Leslie, bro, man. These girls can play.
Swoops actually comes on Gil's podcast or Gil's Arena. She's on there every so often. So I mean, it's cool to see they're starting to get marketed, you know what I'm saying? So, Skims, what's her name? Kim Kardashian. Yeah, so she has the men's line with Shay, and then with the women's, she got them a line with Skims.
Oh yeah, okay, I see you, Kelsey Plum.
I used to love Kelsey, but she's annoying now to me. Dial your personality back a little bit, please. Just a tad.
Dang, you see why Darren Wall aborted mission?
When she was, did you see the one when she was eating the popcorn? And I was like, I see why he divorced you. I see why he let you go. You know what I'm saying? But it's cool. I'm interested in seeing how they do the 3-point contest this year.
Yeah.
I really want them to bring the best Caitlin and Sabrina and maybe
against Dame and Steph.
Yeah, and maybe one more chick from the WNBA, just so it's not totally biased. We just want them to the best one.
There was one girl, I forgot her name, but she played for Chicago. I don't think she played for more. It was their guard, but she can shoot too. Was it Whalen? I can't remember her name, but I'm blanking on that girl can shoot.
Lindsay Whalen?
She played for Chicago. I'm blanking on her name, but look, point, shoot guard. She can throw that thing up.
They got some hoopers, and I like what they do in the WNBA. It's nobody's roster spot is guaranteed.
Yeah,
it's okay, so we drafted you this year, but the next year we can cut you for somebody else.
Yeah,
so that's interesting.
They couldn't do that for sure. All right, man. This has been a blast. Let's wrap this back. CeeJay, you got anything else you got to add, man? We almost at an hour, bro.
Nah, man. The Twitter unks, we still on business. Deal with what we had to do.
Exactly, man. We just had a barbecue grill in the back, man. Just sitting there chilling out, just doing this whole talking stuff about sports. Man.
What I do want to say is, since we always get we didn't get invited. Local Magic fans, if you guys want to do something with the Twitter unks, just let us know. And we'll figure it out.
You know, me and Yachty and CeeJay gonna get together. We got to plan that here soon.
Yeah, but we always catch flack from everybody else. Like, yo, well, they get an invite. Like, oh, for real?
Hey, man, listen, man. There's a certain way y'all gotta act, bro. And we see how y'all act on Twitter, and we just gotta make sure y'all align. You know what I'm saying? You know, stand on business. So, you know, me, Yachty, and CeeJay, we stand on business. So we got to make sure y'all there.
For sure. Act accordingly.
Exactly. But now let's close this bad boy. So, hey, make sure y'all stay tuned with me and Paul next week. We'll hear about his adventure in Austin, see what he's done, maybe bring a handle of Tito's to the set, you know, maybe Tito Tez to come out a little bit. No Tito Tez, man. I had enough plenty of that in Sarasota the last few days. So, but yeah, make sure you follow the podcast page at BLC Podcast. You can follow me at CP, Mr. Mac down there in the handle, D_Paul_Mac. And then CeeJay, tell the people they can find you on Twitter, bro.
You can find me at CeeJay1911, I believe. Yeah, CeeJay1911.
Definitely. CeeJay will be making more appearances on this podcast. I got to get him out.
For sure.
You know, we'll get him on, talk some more. So I reached out to him and I tried to get my boy Gary on. Gary is in the UK. This would have been a fun podcast, but you know, they are set back so far.
Right.
That, and he's and
I think he probably still at work.
Basically. So it just wasn't gonna happen. And then now my schedule changed. I work weekends now, so and I work in the morning weekends, so I couldn't do one in the morning. I just couldn't get them on. So nonetheless, man, we'll get all the guys back on here. So but besides that, make sure you take and listen to us. We're on iTunes, TuneIn Radio, Stitcher, iHeart, Spreaker, Windows, or as Paul and Kevin like to say, wherever you found it before. So yeah, that's where you get the content there.
It works.
Hey, they love CeeJay. They love saying that. So, but we're also, you see the tag down here. We're on BLC Podcast at YouTube. We have BLC Podcast on Instagram, BLC Podcast on Twitter, BLC Podcast on TikTok, which I think is going away in the States. Because when I upload a video, I'm getting like 9 views per video. I'm hashtagging it like 10 different times. Yeah, it's pretty tragic on TikTok right now. Yeah. TikTok's like a waste of land over there.
Yeah, it's going.
Right? Yeah, it's in the States going away. Yes, Ball Not Court Podcast on Facebook. You can get us there. So once again, I want to thank you all for listening. Speaking for CeeJay Hill, this is Cortez Paul, Ball Not Court Podcast. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much.